It's going down like this, motherfucker.
This shit is crazy.
Nigga get mad. Say, motherfucker, what you mean you ain't gonna let me in this funky joint? Much money I done spent in here, nigga. I knew your mama when she was horn. Hump, baby. Shit, bet I do it over time. Say that, nigga. Shit. Bar, back the bar, off time. Shit, boy, I'm trying to make me some money. Boy, I'm hungry as a hog meat. Slap Jesus. Shit, gotta be a Jesus, cause too many black folks.
For what he has, he says that the only way that we can solve our problem is to unite together among ourselves, among our own kind, clean ourselves up, rid ourselves of the evils that we've become addicted to here in this society, and try and...
This ain't loud enough, I'm still trying. This ain't loud enough, I'm still trying. This ain't loud enough, I'm still trying. I just left the light in this bitch. I'm fit to hit the shop in this shit.
Hey, where are the white women at?
I'm trying to told you just with Herbie, man.
Hey, where are the white women at?
I'm trying to told you just with Herbie, man.
Hey, where are the white women at?
I'm trying to told you just with Herbie, man.
Yeah, well, I gotta get a piece of my pleasure. A little pleasure, 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 pleasure. A little adventure.
Joe Beach. He looked down, seen his feet. The nigga went berserk. Killed the monkey, threw the bat out the window, start kicking that bitch in the air.
Say anyway, but I will. The way quantum entanglement works is that you can take two particles, quantum entangle them, and then take those two particles and move them at any distance in the cosmos. And let's just say, for example, if you quantum entangle two electrons and you have them spinning in the same direction, and then you take one of those electrons and you shoot that thing out 100,000 light years from the original. If you then rotate the spin on the one electron, if you modify it so that its spin changes, the quantum entangled electron at any distance will simultaneously in no time switch its rotation also, because they're quantum entangled. So these communication systems are taking advantage of this aspect of quantum mechanics that most people can't wrap their heads around, and this is what they're utilizing. It's just the new level of science that affords us the ability to communicate at any distance instantaneously. Can you?
You don't understand. It's cool enough just being cool, like I am, chilling.
Group of you together, you never can tell who's who. I've seen a lot of black guys, Nipsey, but you're overdoing it.
I mean, TikTok. A lot of the white content creators on TikTok get all of their dances from the black content creators.
You're a philosopher? Yes. You're a philosopher? Yes. You're a philosopher? Yes. I think very deep. I think very deeply.
Dance with me. Dance with me. Dance with me. Oh yeah.
Damn white boys out there. Most of them is psychopaths and all that. They'll kill your mama's mama and you.
Decent white folk that still don't know they're racist.
What the hell you want here, hunky?
Don't know me why.
Your lines are still open. Oh shit, you can get it, nigga. You wanna get it?
Your shit.
Hands off of me, shit!
I think we OD. I think we OD.
The Chinese platform, you already know they don't give a fuck about your black ass.
When you're my baby, that's how it is when you what they call me when I hit the chips. Pulls up in the deadly. I'm a walking dead man is what they call me when I hit the chips. Pulls up in the deadly. I'm a walking dead man is what they call me when I hit the chips. Pulls up in the.
I guess you go to the history of European civilizations. 250 years is how long they last before they implode because of their greed, because of their violence, because of an inability to let others be, including themselves. If they didn't have brown and black people to hate, they would hate themselves.
Do that dance, baby, do that dance. Let's work it out.
Nigga. Yeah. Who that?
Lean and walk, lean, walk.
To the east. Greetings. This is Big Pontiac, and welcome to the Chocolate Mountain Show. I am the holder of the infinite sacred ball game that was created by the Hero Twins, and I am that one and only Galactic Daddy-O welcoming each and every one of you to my galactic patio that reaches from Minnesota to the universe. Well, that is my cue to come on in and say what's happening. And as you know, my general way I start is I always show them Rob from God, as they call it. And this Rob from God comes from Great Lakes Brewing. Alien Nest, the finest amber in the land. So pop them if you got them. And as always, not always, but again, if you clean it, you can bring it back up. And I have my Killian's glass. So for everybody this evening, cheers. Not smoking because I've taken edibles, so smoke them if you got them. Thank you for joining me. I think we're going to get right into it. We've got we're up to 30. Number 30, death,
celebrity death. Again, the beast is hungry. Will Lester. And Will was 71 years old, and he was a journalist. So again, Will took a drink from the beast cup. What did Will do? Will, longtime reporter and editor, Associated Press, played a critical role in a news organization's 2000 election night decision not to call the presidential race. Died Wednesday, according to his family. Employees held good nature and equal measure, esteem, dedication, covering the news, blah, blah, blah. Let's get into it. He doesn't look like a very exciting person. He doesn't have very much style. But let's see what else they got to say. A native of Atlanta and a graduate at Emory. Oh, my cousin used to work at Emory. Began his decade-long career at the Lancaster News in Lancaster, South Carolina. After a stint at the Columbia Record, he moved to the Associated Press in 82, serving as reporter and news editor out of the South Carolina office. At the time, AP's Miami office, where Lester served as news editor before reporting on politics, it was that Florida political expertise that would come to serve both Lester and his AP invaluably after he joined the Washington Bureau in 98. Former Washington Bureau Chief Sandy Johnson recalled how Lester's critical voice and in-depth knowledge of Florida politics helped steer AT through the murky presidential waters of the 2000 race between Bush and Gore. He's part of the AP team that was a finalist for the Pulitzer Prize. So he's boring. So the beast took him. So the beast took that journalist. This is another story that I found interesting. Check this shit out. Bo Jackson awarded $21 million in Georgia blackmail stalking case. Former professional baseball and football player Vincent Bo Jackson, a running back who won the Heisman Trophy, has won $21 million verdict in a civil case against his niece and nephew who was trying to extort him. The February 2nd decision included a permanent protective order barring Anderson and his sister Erica from further bothering or contacting Jack Leary or his immediate family. The Anderson must stay at least 500 yards away from the Jacksons and remove social media of any content about them. The lawsuit filed in April alleged the Jacksons' relatives tried to extort $20 million from him through harassment and intimidation. Unfortunately, for those attempting to extort, and it's from Bo still hits back hard, Jackson's attorney said. Robert and Ingram and David Conley said Monday in a news release. Jackson claimed the harassment started in 22, included threatening social media posts and messengers, public allegations that put him in a false light, public disclosure of private information intended to cause him severe emotional distress. He said that Thomas Anderson wrote on Facebook that he would release photos, texts, and medical records on Jackson to show America that he wasn't playing around, the lawsuits alleged. The Andersons, with help from Atlanta attorney, demanded money in exchange for ending their conduct. He said they threatened to appear in a restaurant near his home and disrupt a charity event he hosted in Auburn, a means of harassment and intimidation. Jackson feared his safety and that of his immediate family, the lawsuit states. It sought a stalking protective order against the Andersons as well as unspecified compensation for intentional infliction of emotional distress and invasion of privacy. He also brought a civil case against the siblings. The court found that there was no legitimate purpose for these actions, and even after receiving a cease and desist letter from Jackson's attorney, this intimidation and harassment continued. Cobb County Superior Court judge said his order that neither the Andersons nor the attorneys rebutted Jackson's claims or participated in the case after a May 2030 hearing where they consented to a temporary protective order. Reasonable defendants would behave extreme and outrageous. The court saw evidence. The attorney representing defendants claimed the client's conduct would cease for the sum of $20 million. Wow. So, sometimes people get greedy, especially with that bread. Oh, what's this is the other thing that I do want to bring up today. Where is it at? Oh, I got to bring this up. Let me bring this up, and I'll break this down early so I won't have to talk about it again. I think I want to show my version the best. All right. Let me see if I can get it. Okay, here we go. Here we go. All right. What we have here again is Kobe. This is what he picked. Now, do we really believe that he picked this? As above, so below. This is the Baphomet. So if you think Kobe Bryant was that deep, he wasn't that deep, and he definitely worked for the beast, because his final thing, with all the things he could have done, again, as above, so below. It means nothing else. This ain't him walking off 81-point performance, which they know it's fixed, especially for him. But this is the Baphomet. As above, so below. And it's interesting he had the 8 on instead of the 24, the nigga number, but this is nothing more than as above, so below. So I did want to bring that up. You saw this, as above, so below. This is the Baphomet. That's what he decided. So if you think Kobe Bryant was that deep, and he decided to go with the Baphomet. What's up, Jamar? What's up, everyone? Jamar, 3224. What's happening? And I know.
Got to have vision.
And will you mind joining me on the Would you like to dance with me? But there's only one rule.
Don't touch my truck.
But if you do, want to take you higher. Dread, what is happening? And I know you got to have
vision.
And I know you don't mind joining us on the Galactic Patio while we do the Would you like to dance with me? Ooh, that sounds so crazy. But there's only one rule.
Don't touch my truck.
But if you follow that one rule, I promise to take you. Take you higher, baby. L Reborn Honoru Khan, what's happening? And you've been around so much, I know you definitely have.
Got to have vision.
And please join us on the Galactic Patio as we do the
Would you like to dance with me?
But there's only one rule.
Don't touch my truck.
And if you do, I will take you. But it's funny, you know, I do like the shoes. They got the Nikes in there good. And the longer shorts, kind of still the longer shorts was in style. That's an imitation of Jordan. The elbow, the sweatband right there is a direct imitation of Jordan. And they say they're putting 2 other statues of this dude. 2 other statues of him. That's what they said. They're putting 2 other statues up of him. Why? Why does he get 3 statues? Make that make sense. So, but I just wanted to put that out there. Just wanted to put that out there. I think we only have the one death. I think is the only death that seems to be like the beast is slowing down. But I think that's the only. Nope. Might be this cat here. Let's see. I don't know. It's hard to say if these foreigners can be allowed. I'm saying no. Well, let's see. The wedding. Yeah, I don't know. This is a foreigner, so I don't know if he's gonna. Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna add him. I probably could add him, but that doesn't mean I necessarily should add him. Yeah, it looks, man accused of killing girlfriend and leaving her body at the airport. Oh my goodness, this shit sometimes is just so funny, y'all. And we got the spinners dude last night. Yeah, I think that's the only one that they're really reporting. So we're up to 30. We're up to 30, and I'm not going to count this dude, Peter Gard. I'm not counting Peter Gard. He's a foreign film dude, so I don't know. I don't know if we're going to... Oh, let's see about this. The old people, the Hall of Fame put in Randy Gradishar. And even though he played in he played in the Super Bowl. Yeah, he played in the 77 Super Bowl. They lost, but he had a good team. Decent player. A decent player. Do they tell the other people? He became the 10th Bronco player to reach Canton, joining Floyd Little, John Elway, Steve Atwater, Shannon, Gary Oberman, Terrell Davis. Terrell Davis is doubtful. He shouldn't have made it. Peyton Manning. So I want to see the rest. But Devin Hester. Devin Hester was the second. Rodney Harrison got snubbed. Okay. Let's see. Sports. See if they give a name of everybody that went in. But Devin Hester was nice. Devin Hester really, like that touchdown he ran back in the Super Bowl was so nice. And he really, if anybody equaled Gale Sayers, some of his ability, it was definitely Devin Hester, because Gale Sayers was a motherfucker on return and kickoffs and punts. But Devin Hester, you can't argue that he's probably the best ever at that. And, people forget he was a DB. Dang, I got to put this in. That's last year. Isn't that last year? No, this is this year, I guess. Let's see. No, that's last year. Yeah, that's what I thought. I want this year. That's last year. Okay. All right, here we go. All right, here we go. Pro Football Hall of Fame, the newest members. The newest members are, whoa. Oh, there we go. We've got the newest members are Julius Pepper, Dwight Freeney, Patrick Willis, Devin Hester, and Andre Johnson. And then the old people put in Randy Gradishar and Steve McMichael, who retired. And let's break it down. Did they deserve it? I would say Freeney, yes. Freeney, 6'1", defensive end, right? Was too short to play as defensive end. He was 7-time Pro Bowl, 3-time All. Okay, this is the most important. Pro Bowls aren't important. What's important is how many All Pros you are. And this shows you he was only a 3-time All Pro in 11 years. Let me see why he was elected. He was all decade selection, finished 18th in the career sack. Okay. His spin moves routinely. Okay. Randy Gradishar. He's the first player from the Orange Crush. Why he was elected? Let's see. What do they say? How many? Let me see. Over a decade. Credited with franchise record 2,049 tackles. Has been the most decorated player in the Hall of Fame seniors pool. He never missed a game. He was named 7 Pro Bowls as well as first and second team All Pro 4 times. Okay. He was inside linebacker, 3-2 defense. Okay. This is iffy by his stats. But Hester's a no-brainer. This guy changed football the way he could return punts and kickoffs. So definitely should have been elected. But what did they give him? Let's see. He had 14 punt return scores, 5 kickoff returns. He returned the opening kickoff of the Super Bowl for a touchdown. That despite opponents trying to keep the ball away from him after he brought 3 punts and 2 kickoffs back for touchdowns his rookie year. Heston was a rare selection to all decade teams. The 2010, it was selected one of the returners for the NFL's All-Century team. My personal executives, former opponents, and consider him the best returner to ever play. Before kickoffs was made from the 35-yard line, teams often elected to kick off out of bounds, giving the Bears the ball at the 40, rather than punt it to Hester. He once returned a kickoff for a touchdown when Chicago had the hands team on the field instead of the usual allotment of blockers. He's the only player in history with at least 5 special team touchdowns in a season. He did it twice. He's also the only returner to ever lead the league in both kickoff and punt returns twice. At age 34, his final game, he had a career high postseason kickoff return of 194 moments. So now this is one I really question because he never played on a winning team. Let's see. It was just a preview of the 7-time Pro Bowler. Again, Pro Bowls don't mean anything. 14,000 receiving yards and 70 touchdowns. He played 12. Okay, why he was elected? He led the league twice in both reception and receiving yards. He had 21 games in his career with at least 10 receptions and 100 yards receiving. His 8 career games with at least 10 blah, blah, blah does not tell. Wow. So it does not say that he was all pro. So that makes me wonder, should he have made it? See, Pro Bowler, he's never all pro. So that's iffy if he should have made it. He's not all pro. This is another one. I don't know about this. I think because he got sick, he got it. He got sick. Let's see why they say. He had 7 seasons with at least 8 sacks. Let's see what they say up here. Didn't break it as their way. Like he didn't play all 16 games a season until his 4th season with the Bears. But then he carved his way as a Gold Jackets, part of one of the best defenses in league history. Found, okay, they don't tell us. Okay, was last official statistics tab. There are 4 defensive tackles since sacks became official that have more seasoned than at least 8. Hall of Famer John Randall, Alan Page, Alec Harris, along with current defensive tackle Alan Donald, 11th man, was a starting. He had 53 sacks and 6 season span. Yeah, you see this? No all pros. Well, let's see. He was named first team all pro twice, second all team pro once. So does that really give it to you? He's named first team all pro. He played on a stacked team. If he wasn't sick, he wouldn't have got in. I'm going to say that. If he wasn't sick, he wouldn't have got in. Julius Pepper, let's see. Tar Heels, he hooped. People forget, Pepper hooped. He's 4th on official sack list with 159. Why he was elected? Only Jim Marshall, Bruce Smith played more games at defensive end than Pepper. Though he never led the league in sacks, he finished with at least 10 sacks 10 times and had at least 12 sacks 3 times. He also had 11 interceptions, 52 forced fumbles, 9-time pro, 3. Okay. This is right here. 3-time first team all pro. Yeah, see. Yeah, we know 3 times all pro. That's gets you to you now, huh? He retired much like Hall of Famer Jack Lamb because of painful tone injury that wouldn't heal, severely hampered his mobility. He played 6 games, finally had surgery, so he must have had a turf toe, it sounds like. Why he was elected as elite. As soon as he set foot, he led the league in tackles his rookie season, way to be named Defensive Rookie of the Year, first team all pro. Okay. He was first rookie inside linebacker named All-Pro since Dick Butkus. He led the league in tackles, middle of the period. Okay, so he made All-Pro 1 time. He got in the Hall of Fame for making All-Pro 1 time. Wow. So they make it any kind of way now. They make it any kind of way. All right, PJ Allen, what is happening? And I know you are one that always controls
my bitches. You saying you can't control your bitches?
What? And you definitely got
to have vision.
And I know since you have your own booth, you would definitely join me on the Galactic Patio while we do the same. Would you like to dance with me? We're doing the cosmic slop. And there's only one rule: leave that F-150 alone.
Don't touch my
And if you do, take you higher, baby. And I gotta say hello to my man from the SIP. What's up, Lorenzo? And I know you definitely got
to have vision.
And I know you don't mind joining us on the Galactic Patio while we sing. Would you like to dance with me? We're doing the cosmic. But there's only one rule.
Don't touch my
But if you follow that rule, What's happening, Joey? Whoa. And I know you definitely got
to have vision.
And I know that you would join us on the Galactic Patio. Hey, what do you think? There's only one rule.
Don't touch my truck.
Leave that F-150 alone, but if you do... Walter Walkins, CZUs. I think Kobe is still alive and on Mars. I think, what did they say? What does the Gipper call it? Fantasy Island? Is he on Fantasy Island? Very well may be on Fantasy Island. So that's a possibility that he's on Fantasy Island, him and his daughter, and they'll take. I think he switched souls with Josh Okogie. I've said that for the longest, that him and Josh Okogie switched. And if anybody died, it was Josh Okogie that died. I wonder if they're going to tell the truth here. Let's see this. This is why was Jimi Hendrix discharged from the army? History before blah blah blah. Let's see if they tell the truth. It wasn't until he was honorably discharged, was able finally to meet his son. Meet his son. He raised his son. In 1945. Okay, he grew up poor. This is bullshit. Natural soldier. Oh, they talking about the daddy. Because they say that Jimi Hendrix got put out the army because he got caught beating off. He was supposed to be doing armed guard duty, and he was beaten off and got caught beating off. So that's why they put him out the army. So, well, let's see if this is one. We might have one right here. Who is this? Oh, yeah. This is the Beast. Definitely got one. We got another one here. His name is Jonathan Whitner, chief partner of Los Angeles restaurant. Here looking out at you and all day, baby. Died at his home Wednesday. He was only 36 years old. So number 31. His name is Jonathan. Spell it right. Whittier. He was 36. He was a LA restaurant. Whoops. Restaurant owner. All right. Representative Matt O'Connor confirmed his death was pronounced Wednesday. The cause of death is not yet known, probably drugs. He opened the Koreatown in 2006, managing partner Lee Ta to an instant acclaim was dark on Thursday night. Instagram post, we're extremely sorry. Wow. Yeah, you know he OD'd. At their restaurant in Silver Lake, regulars hugged staffers. They showed up for the evening shift to respond to a phone call for comment. Whitner was formerly chief cuisine and animal and cooked at the restaurant, including Lee Lewis, 14th, Monte Carlo, and Mazur and Minton, France. He grew up unincorporated midway in the heart of Orange County down near Bowles Avenue in Little Saigon. He's inspired by the variety of South Carolina fast food. Okay, we're bored with you already, but we put you down because the Beast called and you probably OD'd. You probably thought you was doing some cocaine and you did some fentanyl. It's more than likely how he got taken out. But we never know. I think that's about it for deaths. Oh, no. You know, they always want to get a football player in here. Let's see. Yeah, we get a football player in here. You know they're going to take sports deaths. So we got a football player in it. And isn't it funny? Isn't it funny? We got a Raider dying. named Rod Sherman. He played in the AFL. I don't think he played in the NFL, just looking at this picture. Sherman. He was 79, and he played for the Raiders. Never heard of this cat, but he must have played in the AFL. Former wide receiver has died, the team announced. Sherman, a native of Pasadena, spent 4 seasons with the Raiders. The USC star was selected overall by the Raiders 66 draft and by the Colts in the 4th round. He signed with the Raiders and won who won the AFC Championship his rookie season. He played for the Bengals in 68, returned to Raiders in 69 through 71. He finished his career with the Broncos in 72 and played a year with the Rams. He caught 105 receptions and 1,500 yards and 5 touchdowns. He also rushed 20 yards and had a touchdown on 4 carries. The condolences to all the family. So that's all they tell you. So this cat right here, you know, they wouldn't have it. And isn't it funny? The Super Bowl is in Oakland, so they had to give you a death in Oakland. And so here you go, a death in Oakland. So don't be surprised. Antonio Gates didn't make it. That's a good point. Antonio Gates, which was a good basketball player, did he go to Kent State? But was a great football player. And his career was kind of ended by turf toe. I think he ended up having pretty bad turf toe. Yeah, Gates should have definitely made it. And as I said, I'm not going to take that back. The only reason Michaels made it was Michaels played on a good team. All right, he played on a good team. All right, he played. Look at Michael played with what? You got Richard Dent, who I played against in college from Tennessee State. You had Singletary. I mean, he had a stacked team, and so people felt sorry for him. That's why he's in the Hall of Fame. Not really is again what 2-3 times Pro Bowl. Definitely not a Hall of Fame career. They felt sorry for him because he's sick. I mean, you wouldn't recognize him if you saw him now. He's probably gonna die after this. Yeah, but that looks like the only celebrity deaths we got this week. And Ratty Gradishaw only went in, and McMichaels went in as the older, they always have an older committee that they select for older cats, and that's how they got in. But yeah, Antonio Gates definitely should have got in. I'm surprised he didn't get in. Because he's one of the best tight ends. I think we saw this last night. Asaba ruler, Obi is dead. What is this? He got a fez on. Traditional ruler Saba, the Delta State capital of His Majesty, Joseph, is dead. He was the 13th of his ancestors. He's only committed to making. Oh, wow, this guy was old. I don't even know where the fuck this country is. But we're not counting him. He's in Africa somewhere. He wasn't ever famous. Just because he's African king don't make him famous. African king don't make you famous. So I don't think he's going to get on here. I don't think he'll make our list. And I've said before, and when I kept track, last couple of years I didn't keep track, but I kept track last in 2020. 2017, excuse me. When the Eagles won, it was 22 people. And I tell you, I don't, I tell you what, Brother Rich's channel, Black Magic, maybe it's called, he had a deep sister on there tonight. I really dug her. So let me get it back up. I would say, check that out, because she has some good, she doesn't understand it all, but she sure understands a lot. Where's this shit at? Well, damn, I was just watching this shit. Oh, I ain't watched it. Yeah, I just watched this shit. Maybe that is... Oh, right here. No, that ain't him. Oh, yeah, it is. This is it. Let me find her.
What am I going to do?
I ain't going to show none of this shit because he'll probably hit me for it. But I want to show you this sister. All right. Right here. This is worth watching. She's not totally on point, but she's on point a lot more than what I thought. So this sister Myra, I'd say this is check this out. Listen to her. She's got some good points about energy and how energy moves. I don't agree with everything she said, but a lot of what she said was good stuff. So, she gets into, the way they do the Super Bowl. Now, again, she doesn't understand, the colors, and she doesn't understand that the Super Bowl is basically to feed Shiva. That's what the Super Bowl feeds Shiva. But this year on top of Shiva would be Marduk. I didn't even say that before. It's probably Marduk on top of Shiva. But Shiva is always the baseline for the Super Bowl. The destroyer and the birther is always the baseline of what entity feeds. It's always Shiva. But on top of Shiva, they throw the lesser deities that they're celebrating. And so, as I said before, it would be Catholic. And Catholic, again, kind of points to Marduk. So, but I think it's worth checking her out. So I will give her props. I liked it. I ain't going to play none of their shit because some of these motherfuckers is funny about that shit. But, I think it's worth a listen to. Yeah. And I don't listen to a lot of people because I don't like a lot of stuff about the darkies. I like to just hear about regular life and regular people and good, positive people. I don't really, a lot of the gossip shit, I don't really care about gossip. I don't care about Shannon Sharp and who he had on. I mean, what does that matter? What does that matter to me? Niggas ain't telling no jokes. Why I'm watching a comedian if the comedian ain't telling jokes? So that's how I feel about that shit. That shit ain't for me to talk about. Enough people talk about it. They say Brock Purdy looks like Lee Harvey Oswald. He kind of does. Oh, shit. This nigga kind of does. He kind of does look like Lee Harvey Oswald. And you know how they revive people. And I'm telling you, people look alike in the world. That's why you have all the mistaken identity. I can't get this shit to freeze. Why? Oh, up here. I don't know. Well, let y'all be. What do y'all think? Does Brock Purdy look like this one of the Oswalds? We don't even know. It was 3 or 4 Oswalds, so we don't even know which one this is. But yeah, they kind of look alike a little bit. What do y'all think? Do they look alike? Kinda. They kind of do look like they could be related. Walter Watkins, that Cat and Shannon interview was the most published video on YouTube. Yeah, and he made what, $500,000 on it? But what does it do for me? A lot of nigga entertainment. That's what it is. It's a lot of nigga entertainment talking about niggas. He didn't talk about one European. And then you got a frustrated, unattractive, unfunny female that's been crying the same cry for how long? And who wants to hear that shit anymore? It just gets tiring after a while. The chick ain't funny. Like her Netflix, who'd have said her Netflix was the worst of all time? Yeah, her Netflix sucked. But then again, the last Kevin Hart Netflix or whatever he had, it sucked. The last Dave Chappelle, he talking about gay people too much, so he wasn't funny. His sucked. Country Wayne, he sucked. The last Cat Williams Netflix, he sucked. So they ain't even funny anymore. These cats ain't even funny like they used to be. So, yeah, I don't care what the niggas talk about. That's what I'm saying. It's too much going on in the world worrying about niggas gossip. Because if you listen to just niggas gossip, that's what else is going on in the world. You ain't really paying attention. You worrying too much about niggas. And niggas ain't a lot of the world. Was showing up in my search engine and that was the same like Country Wayne. That just shows you that Country Wayne was artificial too. That shows you that Country Wayne was artificial too. Because I had to block at least 10 to 15 Country Waynes coming in on Facebook. At least 10 to 15. So that telling you they pushing him, artificially pushing him. And that's what we see. They put in the bullshit. Yeah, it non-funny. Non-funny. Can't tell me Dave Chappelle's last shit was funny. You can't tell me that Cat shit was funny because they weren't funny. I like funny. I like comedians, but them niggas wasn't funny. They were not funny, and it's like, I don't know what that money make them not funny. Perhaps. I'm not sure what's not making them funny, but not funny. And I think it gets to being, lazy and lazy writing. They get lazy writers. Writers and all of them be lazy. Did I get him? I don't know. Let's see. German French sociologist. I don't know if I'm going to count him. I don't know. Country Wayne. Yeah. Country Wayne was crap. I mean, he ain't never been funny. Like copying people he saw over the years, It ain't like, we ain't know the sugar daddy before and how the sugar daddies operate with it's just stuff that just copies of other people, really. Was nothing original about Country Wayne. Nothing original about him. And I don't even get to Charleston White Cat. This has got to be one of the ugliest dudes they ever found. They must have found this dude under the ugly rock. He got bad skin. He's short and he is not very attractive. And it's like they act like this nigga's saying shit that ain't been said before. It's like he's copying what others have said and, they running with it like he's the first one to come up with it. So, and like all these motherfuckers that's been in jail and all of a sudden, want to hear about jail life. We had the jail gourmet and motherfuckers watching the male gourmet. It's just, when has jail become popular? Like when is gangbanging become popular where the whole world wants to hear gangbanging stories? That shit amazes me. Like motherfuckers want to watch and hear people that's been in prison. When is that popular? Most of the time, society motherfuckers don't say they been in prison. They don't even say shit. It's like, well, out of town. Out of town. Well, where's your son? Well, he's out of town right now. That means their ass is in jail. So I didn't know that became popular. And now niggas is like left and right talking about it. So that's some funny shit to me. But Charleston White is a plant too. He's a plant. Just as much, he's a plant. Let's see. What is this? Oh, okay. All right, let's see this bullshit. This is a little bullshit story. I think I want to read it. Spencer Haywood, and one of my homeboys, I'll read his story. Telling us he was putting a curse on us, Larry Bird, how the Celtics ended Spencer Haywood's voodoo scare. After clinching consecutive championships 69, the Celtics was eager to defend their 81 title. However, the team faced an unusual challenge as Washington forward Spencer Haywood added a touch of motivation infused with a bit of voodoo. Larry Bird, in his book, he says, despite the 1970 Rookie of the Year average of 22 points per game in that series, Bird emphasized that it wasn't solely his on-court skills that ignited a response. The sight of Haywood sprinkling a substance around the court, openly declaring a curse on the Celtics, catalyzed Cedric Maxwell, ML Carr to step up, leading the Celtics to put away the Bullets in 5 games. That's all had to see. Said, voodoo right. We're going to go out there and pull their plug. Lights out, sucker, Bird wrote. Story of my life. Meanwhile, ML is going. He may be putting up that voodoo on us, but we going to put it on them. And ML didn't even play. He was just a cheerleader on the bench. That's all ML could do. He was always trash. Featuring solid players like Jeff Rulin, Frankie Johnson, Haywood, and Rick Mahone. Boston with some home court advantage, 1-1. They had Spencer, and they had a pretty good rookie in Frankie Johnson, one of those little guys you had to start guarding as soon as he crossed midcourt. While the Celtics secured a tough 92-83 win, the Bullets posed a significant challenge in Game 4, taking the match to overtime, ultimately dropping a 103-99 nail biter. So he tried to put some voodoo. But you know what that reminds me of? If you guys remember this, we had Kyrie that had Sage out on the court. Do y'all remember that a few years ago when Kyrie was, I think he was with Brooklyn when he first left Boston. I think he was with Brooklyn. He was Sage in the court. Do y'all remember that? And, Haywood, he probably put some kind of salt barrier or something around the court, salt or baking soda or something like that to, kind of keep in the energies of the hex he was putting on them. But with all those people in there, it's kind of hard to hold that. I mean, you would have to have somebody to hold that. Just you doing that doesn't quite mean anything. Yeah, you'd have to have quite a lot of energy. And then who is it aimed at? Is it aimed at the whole team? Again, you've got to cross and be inside of that too. And again, if all your players go on the court and they don't go a specific way, they trip up the course. The curse, excuse me. So there would be a lot to making that go on. So, did you see Kyrie and the alley oop, that oop tonight? Yeah, I did. People want to go to jail and become a movie star. That's so fun. Charleston White lost me when he admitted to being a phony. Well, they're all entertainers. Yeah, I saw that. I saw Kyrie hoop. It was, what did New York only has 7 players dressed. They only had 7 players dressed. My man, Sims didn't play. Sims is from here. They went to Texas. He wasn't even dressed or on the bench, so he must have really got hurt. So Sims was starting it at one point. So, yes, but so they only had 7 players, so it wasn't much of a game. And did y'all watch the boxing match? What was it? Lopez fought, and the caddy fought. Shit, the one TV person had the shit even. And then they had it a unanimous decision. I didn't think the other guy, it was Lopez, and I can't think of the other guy's name. It was a good fight, but the other guy didn't really engage enough to me. He didn't really engage enough. He stayed outside, but he just didn't engage enough. I thought he should have engaged a lot more. So, but that was a good fight. So I didn't watch a lot of I missed most of the Laker game. Oh, the Lakers lost. Okay, I see 114-106. Pistons won. I see the Suns beat the Jazz. So I watched a boxing match. It was 2 boxing matches. But Lopez wasn't impressive either. He's the lineal welterweight champion, I think it is. So the longest belt. But that was Bob Armin, his HBO, or excuse me, ESPN fight. Wow, they on top of Bronny James. They say he continues to struggle if USC falters once again. It ain't his fault. Their team wasn't good as they thought. That's all it was. It ain't his fault. So, Defensive Rookie of the Year, Egan's Jalen Carter. Who got Defensive Rookie of the Year? I didn't see that. Defensive, as a result, earns finalist, but came up short was real that Houston, Texas. Will Anderson got it over. Oh, that's some trash. That's trash. Jalen Carter had a better season than Will Anderson. They gave Will Anderson Defensive Rookie of the Year. That's some bullshit. That is some bullshit. 16 games, 33 tackles, 6 sacks, playing tackle. He played tackle. And the other cat played defensive end. So, I don't know. Well, Jalen. So, I wonder who got Offensive Rookie of the Year. Don't know who got Offensive Rookie of the Year. So, yeah, I missed the second game, but I caught that Kobe stuff. And I was like, man, that's... Oh. So, did they finally sell it? Now, I talked about this about a month ago. U.S. Steel workers outraged over $1 billion deals, selling out employees to a foreign industry. So, U.S. Steel, this sale is going through. I was wondering about this. Integral part of the American economy, because a large portion of the sector is being sold off to the highest bidder. Members of the union are sounding off over the transaction. It was workers that drove the force to profit to be made, blah, blah, blah. The U.S. Steel announced that it would be selling the company to the number 4 Napalm, which is Nippon Denso. Napalm also runs a business called Nippon Denso. While the shareholders positively returned to merge, expressing concern about job security. Yeah. Selling out to foreign industry. U.S. Steel in February that Nippon's investment will strengthen American steel industry for the benefit of American customers, employees, and communities. Backed original claims it would hope or honor to use collecting bargaining agreement. Probably no layoffs, faculty closures as a result of this transaction, and will not offshore existing U.S. production capacity. Last year, it issued Layoff warning to 1,000 employees at Granite City, Illinois, saying they expect to fire 60% due to the indefinite idling of iron and steelmaking operations at the facility. We've got these small businesses depend on that income to come in, and these businesses want these people to come in and spend their money. Yeah, so it looks like, wow. And U.S. Steel was once the United States' biggest business was U.S. Steel. So that just shows you how much things have changed. But it's interesting how they artificially pump certain people. They want people, all of a sudden, you see people in front of this. You see they're artificial and they're plants. They are plants. They you see them and, it's a lot of them that are plants. Let's look at this up. 10 gas brands to completely avoid at all cost. Wow. Let's see. 10 gas brands completely gas brands. Premium versus regular. Premium gasoline disguised by its enhanced additive pack is designed to surpass the minimum standards set by the Environmental Protection Agency. Fuel clean engine. These additives help reduce deposit. Contrast, regular gas meets only the EPA requirements, may not prevent buildup of engine deposits over time. Consequently, while non-top tier gasoline might be more affordable, it could potentially lead to a higher maintenance cost and lower engine efficiency in the long run. Now that's bullshit. You got to put premium in other cars. It won't run on this shit. I'm going to tell you that right now. If your car says burn premium and you put that other gas in your car, you will fuck up your car. So for them to say it ain't, you will fuck up your car. What does it say here? Consistent overpricing. Customers avoid gas stations that consistently charge more than the local average. Indeed. Poor fuel quality, including gasoline contaminated with water or other substances. Lack of cleanliness and maintenance. Non-functioning equipment. Duh. Safety concerns. Duh. Poor customer service. Okay. Limited payment options. Definitely. No gas. Environment non-compliance. How are you gonna know that? Lack of additional services. Yeah, most of them don't do shit nowadays. Oh, they say avoid BP, which is British Petroleum. Environment record has been slightly tarnished by incidents like the Deepwater Horizon oil spilling, leading to serious concerns about their commitment to the environment. Additionally, BP has faced criticism for their business practices, including issues related to transparency and ethical standards. So stay away from British Petroleum. What is this? Circle K. Criticism for inconsistent fuel quality. Wow. Speedway. We got Speedways here. Has occasionally been criticized for the quality of their fuel, and some customers report issues that can potentially lead to vehicle problems. They have also been raised about the level of customer service. Locations. Environmental concerns is another factor. Like traditional gas stations, probably offers fossil fuels. Environmentally conscious customers might favor the greener alternatives. And we have the Rockefellers Amoco. Less prevalent since their merger with BP has faced scrutiny over the environmental practices. Not many Amicos left. Luvs. Luvs is in northern Minnesota. They're not around here, and they were in North Dakota. Murphy, USA. Never heard of this. This is Flying J. Yeah, maybe in Iowa we have some Flying J's. Safeway. No Safeways up here. What's the other one? Sam's Club. Wow. While offering competitive prices for their members, faced criticism for their limited accessibility to non-members. Yeah, non-members can't go there. In some cases, customers expressed concerns about the quality and consistency of the fuel affecting vehicle performance. The lack of additional service amenities are typically found at a more comprehensive gas station. Can be a drawback for those seeking. Yeah, I don't like getting gas from Sam's Club. I get gas for Costco. I do get gas from Costco because it is a lot cheaper. So, did you? Yeah. So, I like Costco gas. They're a lot cheaper, but the natives gas are always cheaper too. A school shooter's mom is found guilty. Damn. Well, let's see why they say a school shooter's mom was found guilty. A school shooter's mom is found guilty. Will it prevent other tragedies? After a Michigan jury convicted Jennifer Crumbly of involuntary manslaughter in a historic case that looked at the culpability of a school shooter's parents. I feel like the verdict is going to echo through every household in the country. That's right. Quit spoiling your damn children and making them be psychopaths. Historic conviction shows that jurors are willing to determine that people beyond just the shooter should be held responsible when a child picks up a gun, and others held the verdict a win for accountability. Gun safety advocates say 300 have procured since the Columbine cannot provide safe way, blah, blah, blah. The senior vice president, blah, shootings, sending clear message to gun owners that they make their homes proud across the country. The implications are bigger than this case, but the takeaway is streamlined. Lock up your guns. You can avoid a whole lot of issues that lead to be guns to killer of kids and teens in the country. Crumbly is the first parent of a school shooter to face homicide-level charges of the murders of her child committed. Ethan Crumbly pleaded guilty to 24 charges, including first-degree murder and terrorism. He was sentenced to life with prison without parole. And this is her weirdo son. I thought we saw a picture of him. I thought we did. He was the ugly child, too. Right there. Spoiled child. Secured a reckless conduct plea from Robert Como Sr., the father who killed 7 people. So they're going to go after parents, you Europeans that do all these school shootings. They're going to come after you Europeans. So, brothers ain't doing this shit. It ain't from brothers. It comes from you Europeans. You the ones that do this shit, it seems like. Shoot up the schools. So you got to start charging their parents. They don't see. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. You've got to secure the guns. You got to secure the guns. And that's just the way it is. If you don't, it's on you. It's on you. It's like you just can't shoot a gun. Like even if a person breaks in your house, you got to hit him. Hit him, though. Make sure you hit him, because if that bullet goes, your name is on that bullet. And the courts don't want to hear that, somebody broke in your house, so you shot him. Man jailed after stealing drummies from baby's mouth. What is drummies? Drumsticks? Drumsticks? I guess so. But yeah, if somebody come in your house, make sure you shoot them in center mass. You ain't got to kill them, but shoot them in center mass. Because if they're in your house, you can shoot them. You can shoot them. I'd rather make the house safe and suffer everything after that. You put one in the ass, you ain't got to worry about it. Damn, do we want to know about Martin Luther King's favorite food? What about his favorite hoes? That's what we want to know about. How many hoes did he beat? It seemed like they said every time he got a white prostitute, he would beat her. He's taking it out on her. He's taking the South and Jim Crow out on the white prostitutes. They say he wouldn't beat the black chicks, but they say every time he got a white prostitute, he would put it on her. Oh, yeah, I read this before. So, yeah, it looks like that is the celebrity deaths for the day, which is good. And I wasn't going to be on here a whole lot tonight. I do have a busy day. It is officially my mother's 83rd birthday, so we're going to have to clap for my mother. That's right. We should see who his favorite hoes, because he never met a hoe he didn't like. But they tell it. Abernathy, like, read Abernathy's book. Abernathy, like, I don't know if Abernathy took some acid and wrote that book, but somebody paid him some bread. He spilled the beans on King, on Michael King. He spilled the beans on it. Abernathy didn't hold him up. Yeah, that's a good book. And don't buy it. Get it out the library. Don't buy the book because it's not worth collecting. Because again, we know that what king was. Why am I? Let's see. Oh, okay. I like that. Do you know any good sites or places to get nice silver chains? Yeah, not really. Not really. Hey, Joey, what's happening? I don't really like silver is pretty easy and you can trust most places. eBay has inexpensive silver. Yeah, that's about to, I don't know any place other than eBay that you can get because silver is pretty inexpensive. It's only silver is only trading at, and again, you're not buying pure silver, you're buying sterling, and so sterling is cheaper. I saw all this shit. Where was it? Where are my stocks at? They on some bullshit. My stocks must be where they at. So, that's about like it's pawn shops too. That's a great place to buy silver because they're not gonna be that expensive. Mall of America, we have a beautiful place at the Mall of America. But overall, yeah, I mean, because it's not gonna be too expensive for you. But I would say eBay if you can't find any around you. But go to a low, place a jewelry store to sell silver. Now, don't go to Kay's Jewelry or no place like that because because silver is not that expensive. It's not that expensive. Because what did I spend? I think like a chain like this in silver, I think I bought my son one for $50. This is gold, but this Cuban link silver, I think was about $50. And that was last Christmas. So, and then today, those of you that are following gold, I think it was, it lost $2 since gained $2 since we watched it last night. It was at 246 and you see it's still pretty steady at 248. And again, Bitcoin is at 46,000, which is a 4%, almost a 4% jump. And we got Ethereum that's only like one. That's the one to get on is Ethereum if you can't afford anything else. But yeah, I would say go to a pawn shop because if you go to like K Jewelers or whatever, they're gonna upcharge for silver, and silver shouldn't be that expensive. You should get a pretty big chunk of silver for not that expensive. Let me see. Do I have? I've got another silver chain. I don't know where it's at. Seemed like I had a braided one. Must be back there though. But yeah, for those of you that dabble, here we go. 248, 1%. It was 246 last night, so it's pretty steady. Ethereum, yeah, up. Trying to see what the dollar is today. What is the dollar? Where we at? So I made a couple bucks today. And again, if you have any gold jewelry, you made a couple bucks. Because you never know what happens where you have to get rid of. Where's the dollars at? Yeah, eBay is pretty decent. You're going to get pretty decent prices on eBay. You're not going to get a lot of upcharges. I've got a silver nugget ring, and I've had it for a number of years, but it couldn't have been more than $30-$40. And it's a nice, solid nugget ring, but I haven't had it that long. But if eBay, hit a pawn shop. Pawn shop is pretty going to give you, pretty good on silver. But don't go to the mall or to try to get silver because they're gonna try to jack the price up on you. It's like I'm not going where my wife like where my wife gets her diamond rings. I wouldn't buy another for me. Hey, Dr. Sinister, what's happening tonight? Thank you for joining me because I know you always control
my bitches. You saying you can't control your bitches? What?
Damn, how many times they going to stay trying Kobe to the SA case in Colorado. Look at his team played against Tony while they revealed his statue. That's a good point. The times they're going to Try Kobe, that SA case in Colorado. Look at his teams played against. That's a good point. That is a good point. And that was nothing but a shaming. And, then to come by and said he got off because, she had 3 skeets in her panties. Does that look like that's something that could really happen? Like, chick really had 3 skeets in her panties. The odds of that is very small. But it's very funny. Well, we're going to have to drop the case because she had 3 skeets in her panties. That's funny. Okay, here's some money. Let's see if they'll give me some money. What's the money price? Here we go. Telling y'all, don't go to England. Don't go to England because your money ain't worth shit. Okay, it's still 79 cents, but the euro is 93. So don't go to Europe. Go to Canada and go to Australia. Go to Hong Kong. Your money's worth $7. Look at that. Hong Kong, the U.S. is worth $7. So look at this. Wherever this is. Oh, India, $83. Damn, it's some broke shit in India. $90. Wow. Okay. Look at this. If you go to South Korea, it's a dollar's worth $1,100. $1,300. Wow. Japan. Okay. $1.50. Wow. So, but yeah, you see where you want to go. You don't want to go there. So those of you tell your business you won't want to go unless they paying for everything. You'll be like, I'm not going to buy any souvenirs. Your souvenirs are too expensive. And they ruin my fun. I don't know, y'all. I don't waste my time with a lot of stupid shit. I really don't. And Atlanta man robbed, killed and targeted attack by group who then stole his dog. Damn. Not only did they kill you, they took your dog after they killed you. Wow. That's why you got to carry that thing with you. Let's see. 18, let us see this shit. Let's see what they say about getting old. 3 skeets and kept the same draws while fucking the boyfriend. Yes, what sense does that make? No, who does that? Who just keeps the skeet there and like, damn, I got raped and here's the panties. All right, let's see. 18 often ignored. What does it say? Memory decline. Yeah, I agree with that. Loneliness and isolation. I don't know what loneliness is. I ain't never been lonely a day in my life. Aging parent. Yeah, my mother just turned 83. Decreased mobility. Not yet. Loss of loved ones. Well, that could be any age. Diminished taste and smell. No, I don't have that. I can still taste some coochie. Coping with change. Yeah, if you got to move out your house or some shit. Weight gain. Hell, I've always, since I quit playing football, I'm a pretty big guy. Sleep problems. Well, my mother has sleep problems and she's 83, so I'm not worried. Health costs. Yeah. If I was, I guess I'm not poor anymore, but still, health costs can be a motherfucker. Incontinence, pissing on yourself. Yeah, that would be a struggle. Hearing and vision. Yeah, okay. Housing can be a motherfucker. Fear of falling or failing. Fear of failing. What are you going to fail at? You old. Loss of independence. Shit, I'm glad I'm not independent. Time perception. You like, I don't know what's going on. Retirement planning. What does it say? Diminishing physical stamina. I don't know. I can play pickleball all day. 15 fulfilling ways are spending their golden years. Okay, boo. Phoebe fucked while listening to Little John get low. Kobe was like, skeet. Oh, you skeet. Oh, you skeet. Well, damn, what's the deal here? Gotta erase that shit? I guess so. So, don't get old. But you can't help it. Time is on my side. God damn. Somebody left their baby on the roof. A nigga jumped up on the roof and saved the baby. But it was actually a pretty. It rained today. Let me don't get me lying. It rained like it rained today. And tomorrow, Don Murray. Now this is a new one. I don't think I have him. I know this guy. I don't think I have this motherfucker. Let's see. Yo, I don't have him. Let me see. Yeah, I do. I got him. Okay. I do have him. Sorry, I do have him. So I had to check my list, and I was like, okay. And I don't have him. Yeah, Andre Johnson making it before Antonio Gates. Yeah, he shouldn't have. He shouldn't have made it before Antonio Gates. I thought Gates was a much better player. And Johnson, I mean, you wouldn't even know in his career. Decapitation of baby during excessive forced delivery ruled to be a murder. Wow. Oh yeah, we read this one before. Decapitation, where they was trying to take out the baby and they pulled its head off. I think we did that one already. Oh, you know what? Did y'all catch this? Tony Romo came out and said the NFL ain't pure by them. Oh, where did I put this? He said the NFL is not pure by operating with gamblers. Tony Romo gave him that business, but let me read this. Let me see if I can find this picture. Yeah, I know that was going to do that. I don't need it right now. Let me see if I can find this picture, because this picture has the story I need. Just give me the goddamn pictures. Okay, check this out. All right. NFL owners can own up to 5% of a sports booking company. Now check this out. FanDuel is worth something like 3 or 4 billion. So 5% would mean something like 900,000 that they would be putting. So yeah. So them trying to get a piece of the pie and getting kickbacks from the betting does make you wonder. So it's, it's not real. And it's almost to the point where there's no intelligent brothers and sisters speaking about intelligent things. It's like everybody coming on here, speaking about gossip and not intelligent thought or, things to make you think. I mean, it's all the same old thing. A lot of nigga gossip. Now, I get into this ritual because, this is the biggest ritual that this beast does every year. And that's why we're looking at the ritual deaths, because what they've done is, and this is what the European has done all over the country, is there's something sacred in the country, and then they take over what's sacred and they build on top of it. Like the oldest building in the Americas is a Spanish a church they built in the 1500s, and they didn't even know this thing was a giant pyramid. All the people hid the pyramid, and they're just now digging this shit out. So this is what they're good for. They're good for building something that was spiritual and then corrupting it and using it for their gain. This is what the European does. And they've got us because they need us to be the entertainment, the melanated people that invented the game. That in some cases you can make life-changing money for the family, but in some cases you don't. And so what was, put as for us is just built inside of us. That's in our DNA. For the people that live in Americas, the sacredness of the ball game is in our DNA. And as I said before, my first gifts being born was a football helmet and a football. That was my oldest gifts I ever remember getting. By the time I could talk and think, I had a football and a football helmet. Then by the time I was in 3rd grade, I had full football equipment. But again, it's a corruption. It's a corruption that, it seems like, again, it makes you wonder if you see the high school games on a betting line, it makes you wonder about even high school. Because now that they televise high school, it appears like it could definitely be compromised. So that's, what we look at. And it's almost like, they suck our energy from us. It's like we entertain these creatures, and these creatures kind of seem like they feed. Oh, yeah. Lopez fought Ortiz. It was a good fight. Lopez and Ortiz. It was a good fight. And I mean, those of you that hoop and hoop through high school and then beyond, you already know, when you know all the time you put on into it. You know the joy you found just of watching it, and then when you're able to participate. And I've told the story many times, you watch it for so many years, and then once it becomes your turn, what did you do with it? You watched what other people did it with it before it was your turn. You watched what they did it. What did you do when it was your turn? How did you respond? And, and that goes like after you. What did you leave? Did you leave anything in that gym where others can build on? And I know I definitely did. As I've said before, I was the first one to dunk in 79 in my city. And so the young people that saw that afterwards, again, that goes into their imagination. Like, damn, this nigga did it. Like what we watch on TV, this nigga actually did it. Because I remember the next day coming to practice, niggas was looking at me totally different. And they saw me dunking every day. But when I did it and was on stage, and then the next morning everybody wake up, I'm on the cover of the fucking paper. Even the teachers are like, well, this is quite a lot of publicity for a young man like you. Yeah, of course. Because I'm outstanding. But again, that legacy that you can leave. Because that energy in the gym it stays there for others to build on. And that's the beautiful thing about it. When you go to your high school gym, I go to any gym because I am the holder of the infinite sacred ball game created by the Hero Twins. So when I go to a gym, I'm automatically charged. It's automatically a charge for me when I go into a gym. I get charged up. What did Bootsy say? Wind me up. That's why I couldn't imagine it when I go back. I haven't been to my high school in a few years. So I couldn't imagine if I go back, for the season ends and get to see a game. I couldn't imagine what that would feel like. But that's how it works. That's the beautiful thing about, generation. The way, the energy stays on a ball field. It never goes away. And, sadly, these people know that too. They know the same thing, that energy stays in their stadiums. I used to live close to Quano Stadium. My mom was friends with Antonio Gates. Oh, nice. Really nice. Really nice. Stinking ass broad. Oh, that's nice, Jabbar. Stinking ass broad. Oh, indeed. Indeed. And it's funny, how they were saying, like, Michael Jordan had, Shaq's wife had tricked off with somebody. So, Michael Jordan's wife, when she got that $300 million, what do? They give some young nigga a lot of money. You don't think Vanessa Bryant done gave some young nigga a lot of money, spending Kobe's money? She doing it very undercover because there's a lot of eyes on her. But, how some women do. And that's part of it being more women in the world than men. And that's just the way of the world. Oh, let's see. You think a lot of great players played at any park? A lot of energy stays at the park? Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. The park I played with at home, the energy, again, is crazy there. And that they like I've told this before, like the park that I end up playing with the most, I watched it, they changed the park. Because when I first went to the park, I was very young. I probably was 3, maybe 4, but probably closer to 3. And they had a wading park. And then when I moved into the area, was they filled in the wading park and they built the first courts. And now it's all fenced in, but it wasn't. But it was a lot. I mean, matter of fact, we had lights on that court. So we used to hoop shit 2, 3 in the morning. We out there hooping. Packed. The park is packed. Nobody's fighting. None of that. Niggas are shooting craps. That was something that they used to raid the crap table, but not the niggas hooping. But yeah, at all parks. Baseball parks, that's, and I've said before, when you look at the sacred ball fields of South America, some parks are made for people that grieve. They're grieving parks. That's why you see these macetos and they're these ones that are angled and they're trying to get it through the little hole. Those are grieving parks. They look so ridiculous. I watch these macetos playing this and they're like, no, this is not a ball field park. This is a grieving park. But again, they down there and they're trying to play on these crazy angles. It's like, who's trying to put it between the knees on that? It's a grieving park. It's not a ballpark. It's for the grieving. It's for women to grieve. That's why, and the Mayans and the Omen, the ballparks is part of creation. It's part of creation. So it's a little bit of but yeah, it's always at a ballpark. Little League is one of the best things. Depression, child loss. Go to these parks because the energy there is meant to heal. Because the energy it's an uplifting energy at a ballpark. Again, Bucks play the Timberwolves tonight? No, they didn't play tonight. That's tomorrow. Yeah, they must have played tonight. I don't know. Oh. Yeah, I wasn't gonna go too long tonight. I don't really got nothing to do till tomorrow night. And it wasn't nothing exciting that I showed. And wasn't too many exciting shows on the news either. Oh, this is one.
A fleet of well over 1 million cars on the road, fully instrumented from a sensing perspective.
We can know exactly where the seat is. We can know where the steering wheel is.
I guess not. Huh. I guess not.
Than we've ever had before. We can understand.
Wow. Okay, I guess not. Oh, I guess not. Yeah, because that shit ain't coming through.
Colombia are sanctuary states. That means their state governments offer support for undocumented immigrants and can restrict local law enforcement from cooperating with federal immigration authorities. Now there's an effort to add Minnesota to that list. A coalition
Yeah, we're going to be a sanctuary state, y'all.
of lawmakers introduced.
So we are going to be a sanctuary state. So they're going to let people come here. So we're going to start seeing more and more and more. I think more and more peoples here. So yeah, I forgot about that. Well, we'll see how that turns out. And we're going to see, this is going to be an interesting year coming up. It really is. It's going to be a real interesting year coming up. Whoops. Huh. Yeah, no doubt about that. And so don't be surprised on anything that's coming. Like I've talked about Minnesota's best shit out of the beat the shit. Oh, they beat. That's right. I saw the score. They did. They beat the shit out of Bucks. I did see that. And Patrick Beverly and what's his name don't like each other, so that's going to be interesting. Dame time, Patrick Beverly and Dame time, and Patrick Beverly hurt Westbrook on purpose. Let's not forget that about Patrick Beverly. He was told to hurt Westbrook, and he hurt Westbrook on purpose. Watch when Westbrook first gets hurts his knee. Patrick Beverly took him out on purpose. So he that's why, don't be surprised about his fame in this, because Patrick Beverly is a dirty dude. He hurt Westbrook on purpose. So it ain't all just effort. He hurt Westbrook on purpose. He definitely hurts Westbrook on purpose. So let's read this. This might be interesting for young people. Let's see what this says. 10 jobs that are slowly dying. The robots are coming. GDP, 10 jobs that will be replaced first by AR. It's happily wrote. Okay. Telemarketers, probably already gone away. Data entry clerks. Bookkeepers, if you're an accountant, you can get a job anywhere. So receptionists, receptionists ain't there anymore. Proofreading, that's you can get a machine to do that. Bank tellers, I haven't seen banks without bank tellers. Travel agents, we don't really need them. You can get it set up yourself. Factory workers. Now, this goes into, a lot of people know the book 1983, but he wrote a book of 1980 called 1985, and he talked about the end of the smokestack society. Factory workers are smokestack society. They are disappearing, indeed. And he talked about that I forget when he wrote that book, but it was called 85, excuse me. Customer service, it's going overseas, so it ain't went away. Drivers, that's not really true. Lyft. Embrace our robot overlords. I don't know about that. Okay, so looks like. Okay, so those jobs, those factories is, the end of the smokestack society is what they call it. So. No, that's the phone tripping. Yeah, I'm confused. Lost and turned out. So where does this come from?
Nigga get mad.
So, okay.
Nigga get mad. Say, motherfucker.
That's funny. That's funny. I got to figure some shit out. Can't open the door to Chicago Bears. I'm glad the Knicks are playing better because I'm tired of these star players from other teams having these big performances because the Knicks playing. Yeah, because it is still the media capital of the world. I mean, LA may be the movie capital, but the media capital of the world is still New York. So, so people still want to play in New York, and the energy, all the old players and stuff, and the energy of New York is still there, Ali Frazier won. It's still there. People are saying they don't see no more pregnant women walking around Walmart no more. Believe me, they're still around. They're still around. They're still around. There's so many people aborted. I mean, as far as the melanated side, it's like, 6 generations? I think since 72. I broke that down if my numbers are wrong, but it's something like 6 generations of melanated people that don't exist. And, it's like the people from South America and Mexico wouldn't have outnumbered the American melanated people if it wasn't for abortion. If it wasn't for abortion, it'd be more melanated American people here than the people coming from the south of the border. That's just a fact. We've killed 6 generations of people. It took 144,000 to bring you. So just for you to be here, sit here right now, it took 144,000 other people to make you sit where you're listening to me. 144,000 people. So think of that 6 generations of no 140,000 people. That's what's happened. And it's the smart black woman, the smart black woman doesn't want to have an abortion, has an abortion because, she didn't want to be tied down. And well, and a lot of y'all, even our birth rates it's better than Europeans, but our birth rates ain't like where they used to be. I mean, it's what's interesting is men that seem to, you look at men that have 5 or 6 children. So men are doing their part, but are the women doing their part? And like I talk shit about my cousin, being in her early 30s or late 40s with, she had one child, grown child pass, but she had 5 children when she was fairly young. I think that chick had 5 children by the time she was 22, 23 years old. She had 5 children. Now she got the fake ass and all that. And it's not down on her, but it's like, it's hot. And it's like when you read her story on Facebook, you can tell it's a hood chick. Like she's not a high value woman, but her mind, she thinks she looks, and that's the deceiving part. That's what's wrong is a chick thinks they look like a high value woman. That's really, and when the people do the skits about the driving cars and those kind of skits, but that's what it is. Women think they're high value because they look good. And that's not all necessarily the case. That's not necessarily the case. Man, I ain't got nothing bad to say about sisters or European women. It is what it kind of works the way it works. All of them can be fucked up or some of them can be good. I'm definitely one can say ain't no woman like the one I got. I mean, she gets mad and shit like everybody, but it's still, we both found, diamonds. Because I know who I am. I know who I am. And I know, what it's like being around me. And people that benefit from being around me. Oh, this is some funny shit. Oh, some of this shit is just so funny. I'm conflicted by that because one sense we lead in abortions, the next sense we have too many children. Which one is it? That's a good point. Hey, Trill, what's happening? Yeah, and it's that's good. If we really seeing people and the sisters is really having the babies and the families is having the babies, that's a good thing. And that's, them telling us that, well, I mean, it is a problem because we do have generations not raised by balance. And there's no way to get away from that. We've had generations not raised by balance because 2 parents is balance. It gives the child a balance. My parents got divorced when I was two years old, I think, but I had a stepfather that was there till I left. So no matter what, I still had that balance. And I've tried, like most of my children, I was able to do that for them. Now, my 25-year-old son, I left Michigan when he was 7, and his mother didn't allow him to come here. Same with my 18-year-old daughter. They weren't allowed to come here. And I love Michigan. Child support stops at 18. I love it. I thought child support goes until they graduate. No, this motherfucker said, no, Mr. Macon, this shit is over at 18. Right the fuck on. Niggas had parties when that child support stopped. That's why I don't hear from them niggas anymore. I ain't talked to my daughter, and it'd be 2 years in June. I ain't talked to her mother about the same period, So it's like, yeah, that child support's stopping, they ain't got nothing to say to me. At least they didn't do me like they did my brother. They did my brother dirty. His ex tried to got support after his adopted daughter was 18, and she had to pay him back. And she's mad in the motherfucker. She had to pay him back, but she had to pay his ass back. And that was fuck her. You did some dirty shit, so yeah, you had to pay that shit back. You called the people and lied to them. Then they looked it up and they was like, oh, she lied. So yeah, you had to pay it back. And for a lot of women, that child support, like I knew one chick. Check this out. This is how this chick wasn't nothing but somebody to smash. This chick, the baby daddy was in prison and she was getting Section 8 and she was getting child support for prison. So this nigga making 25 cents an hour in prison was all the money he made went to her. And you know, I was just thinking, like, what are you gonna do when these children grow? Because her children were a little older than mine. I'm like, what are you gonna do when these children gone? You ain't got nothing going on. You ain't never worked the time I known you. What are you gonna do when these children are gone? So, have you picked a winner for the Ritual Bowl? I'm going with San Francisco. I picked San Francisco. I think San Francisco is going to get to 2.5. I don't know if they'll cover, but I think the San Francisco is going to win. Now I'm gonna stay with that pick. That's what I picked. I don't know. Maybe I could be wrong because again, Taylor Swift winning might mean that that they're going to win. They've been the last 5. They kind of did what Buffalo 4 out of 5 years. They kind of did what Buffalo did. But I'm pick San Francisco to win. I'm giving up 1.5. I found one that said 1.5. I ain't giving up 2.5 when I bet. I agree. We are not having kids like we used to, but we do come from big families. I have 2 siblings, but my mama's one of 8 children. Hers one of 13. So no, yeah, exactly. My dad. Well, let me see. My dad, my uncle. My grandmother's first 2 pregnancies, she had 4 children. So my dad is, let me see, my dad, my aunt, Christina, Minnie, that's 5, Joanne, Tawana, Vera, David. Yeah, my grandmother actually was probably pregnant 15 times. She lost a set of twins stillborn, and she lost another one stillborn. Yeah, it's 10. 10. My dad had 10 siblings. Now, my mother only had 4 people in her family. And I have 7, well, actually 8 children. I have 8 children. My brother has, I think, natural children. He has 1, 2, 3. Joseph, Isla. I think my brother has 5 natural children, and he adopted 2 children. I want Niners to be better. It's better for the league. Yeah, I'm putting my money on the Niners. I put money on Purdy to be MVP. I'm also putting a little money on Kelsey to be MVP because it's 1,200. I got it at 12. I hate I didn't get it at 15, but I got it at 12. So I'm kind of got those bets going too. Oh, okay. So CJ Stroud won Offensive Rookie of the Year. Okay. Oh, and his teammate came from Ohio State. Okay. And he won Defensive Rookie of the Year. I got it. And you know, the Lions coach did not win Coach of the Year. Remember, the writers gave him Coach of the Year, but not this award. The new awards gave the Coach of the Year to the NFL gave the Coach of the Year to the dude in Cleveland. The writers gave the Detroit Coach of the Year and Executive of the Year. But the awards they just had, the Cleveland coach got Coach of the Year. So you know, Curry, Phoenix, the 42, you know, can't wait to get 42. Yeah, how did that shit happen? Let's see. Yeah.
Tonight at 6, a local woman who shot and killed a neighbor's dog.
Damn. Wow. Where did it go? That's a good question. I don't know. Jacksonville woman shoots dog after attacks her small dog in the driveway. She popped the motherfucking dog. Oh, that's funny. That's really funny. She popped the dog. I'd shoot that motherfucker too. Do they show this shit? Let's see if they show this shit. They show this shit? I want to see her pop the dog. There's the dog right there. Where'd the other dog come from? Do they show this shit? I want to see the dog get popped. This must be after the dog got popped. Damn. Let's see if they show this shit. I think they're going to show it. Let's see if they show this shit. Okay, let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. See if what happens here. So damn, the big dog attacks the little dog. Oh, she didn't come out and pop it? Oh. When'd she shoot it? Oh, when'd she shoot the dog? Get off my dog. Oh. She trying to hit him with a stick and shit. That ain't working. Fucking that little dog up. So then she popped it. When did she pop it? So okay, she go get her shit now. Got in her car. He trying to beat his dog off it, and his dog ain't letting go. He's hungry. She got that heat on him. Get the fuck out the way, buddy. Get the fuck out the way. And she pops the dog. Right on, sister. She popped that motherfucker. Hell yeah. She popped the motherfucker. Boom. Boom. Oh, she fucked Fido up. Oh, she fucked Fido up. She fucks Fido up. Oh, she fucked Fido up. He's a pit bull. Pow. She fucked him up. Damn, this is a pit bull. Damn, Fido got fucked up. Well, you know, I didn't mean to do it, you know. Oh, this is how he fucked that little dog up. Look at this shit here. She got her little Fido walking around. I missed it. Oh, no, it's not funny, but it's funny. She had to pop the motherfucker, y'all. She had to pop the motherfucker. Oh, here it is. She had to pop his ass. I want y'all to see this other little dog. Her little dog got fucked up. Where's this shit? Oh, that's after she shot him. Okay, where is it? Damn, that picture. Oh, here he is. He's all fucked up. Look at his pictures. Her little Fido is fucked up. Look at him. He got the shit bit, like almost bit his leg off. Little Fido got all fucked up. I know it's not funny, but it's funny. Also, Brady is a minor owner of the Raiders, and his favorite team growing up was the 49ers, even though they didn't draft him. That's a good point. That's a good point. So, yeah, I think, but you know, they Mahomes got 2, and is he going to get 3? Yeah. And it's funny, the Gipper, he hates Mahomes, you know, and I personally know Pat Mahomes Sr., and it's hard for me not to like Patty Mahomes. And I think he gets everything he deserved, you know, being an ex-player's son. Pit bulls are some of the most dangerous dogs, no matter what they size. That's true, but they're very protective. And I'm going to tell you how you treat dogs. And this is a true story. So my ex-wife had an aunt, and the aunt had a pit bull that was her baby. But when you went in the house, how was it? This motherfucker, so when you walked in the back door, there was a microwave on top of something, and this motherfucker could be like face level. You dig what I'm saying? So you walk in, and there's this pit right there at your face. So the first time I walk in, the pit's right there in my face, I put that 40 on him. And that pit looked at that gun, and he ran back in there with her. So every time I would come in, that motherfucker see me, he wouldn't run. But everybody else, but that was the first time he did that shit to me. That motherfucker jumped, and he's like, pow, like right there in your face. What you gonna do now, motherfucker? And you don't think dogs know what guns is? When they know that no fear, that motherfucker looked at that gun, they was like, ran back down. And then, of course, her cousin was like, don't shoot him in here. Don't shoot him. He's just protecting the house. I'm like, yeah, tell this motherfucker to get out of my face. But he jumped. Dogs know. Dogs know what a gun is. Even if they may never been around, they know. Because you ain't got no fear. And he's like, yeah, little motherfucker, I will shoot your ass. Because it was just instinctive to put that gun in his face. He right there in my face. I put that gun. That 40 was about to blow him in two. And they's like, don't shoot him. Well, get this motherfucker. Why you letting him just, you know. And her aunt thought that shit was funny. But when she thought I was about to kill his ass, they didn't think that shit was funny no more. I said, and they was like, don't pull the gun. I'm like, every time I come over here, if that motherfucker comes up here, I'm pulling my gun on him and I might shoot him if he try to bite me. So I didn't go over to her aunt's house too much. I don't go over there too much. What is this shit?
Plus, after 3 armed men followed them home, tried to rob them at gunpoint. This whole thing was caught on camera and in their driveway. Chris Sadeghi joins us here in studio with a look at that video. Chris, police say this was targeted.
Yeah, Kara, and this is some frightening to look at. It shows what is called mugging. It is not new. However, Dallas police say it does seem to be happening more and more often. This video is from Mark Gardner's
Okay, they call it juggling. How to keep your safe self from people rushing you with guns. Now this is okay. Check this out. This is interesting. What can you legally do here? Check it out. Let me see. Let me show you something. Okay, what can you legally do here? You're in your car on your property. What can you do? Actually, you can blow them all away. They're threatening you. You ain't got to drive away. You could have shot them. You could have technically shot them. Like, what are you doing while they running out like this? But you could have technically shot him. Look, dude trying to hide his face and shit. Really? That's what they do now? You see him running up and you shoot through your windshield. Juggling, huh? Look at him. And they drive away. Did they want the car? Like, what was it so exciting about that car? So, you can technically shoot them. On your property, you're threatened, you can technically shoot them. Man, you know what? Let's have a little fun. Maybe not. I don't even know the nigga's name. I'd have to look the nigga up. I don't even know his name. Oh, yeah. This is, Dave Chappelle. People showed this earlier, but I already showed Dave Chappelle in the dress, but other people showed him when he was fruity in his career. And he talking about he ain't been fruity, but we know, yeah, Robin Hood, Men in Tights. Yeah, we know this. Dave Chappelle, Robin Hood, Men in Tights. Right there. That's Dave Chappelle. So he did wear the dress. And then right here, he's playing a female with a fade. He's a female with a fade. So, our heroes did, So, he ain't great as you think. He ain't great as you think. I don't know. Well, I'm at 2 hours. I don't know. I might can talk shit a little longer. It amazes me, though, what people find interesting. And it just amazes me. Because, just because you're a melanated person, that means you got to think melanated. You got to be entertained by melanated. I mean, it's just interesting, the kind of things that people find, and it's it's niggas that shouldn't be even heard. Like Charleston White, where would he be heard? Now niggas is paying this goofy, but again, he's artificial too. He's artificial. They bring these people on. So, don't believe the hype. That's the biggest thing. Don't believe the hype. Don't believe that we're wretched, because that's what they want to do, is think that we're wretched and ratchet. Niggardly, that's a word, niggardly. They think we're niggardly, and so they think that's all we can do is just be entertainers or entertain. And as a people, we're much more beautiful than that as a people. What he say? I'm so glad I've got my own, so glad that I can see. My life's a natural high. The man can't put no thing on me. That's Curtis Mayfield. Ain't it funky? I ain't no junkie. And that's for real. I'm glad I got my own. What James Brown say? You got yours and I got mine. I don't worry about yours because I've got mine. And too many niggas worry about what everybody else got, and want to look like other niggas and wear what other niggas wear instead of being original. I mean, where is it like originality? Where is that going? Your own individual style without looking at anybody else. Saying, what do you put together? How do you put it together? What he say? All the bad cats in the bad hats doing real big favors. I got the bad cats in the bad hats. Here's a dime, boy, give me a shine when you're down and out in New York City. All right, I guess I'm done with debauchery. No debauchery tonight. It's no debauchery, so that's all right. A little bit of debauchery. But I laugh at motherfuckers. You know, it's just interesting to me that gossip is so interesting to us. And past stories of entertainers, because that's all they are, is entertainers. So they keep entertaining. So, you know, we see athletes that are still entertainers. So like with the Sharon Tate killing, these is all entertainers. So we knew it was a fake thing. Again, Sharon Tate was meant to take them people out of the deserts. You know? That's all it was. They didn't want people to live in the deserts and raise their own food and raise their own children. So they had to make a code, and then they pulled everybody out the deserts. Said, no, you got to live in the cities. But all these actors, so you can't believe that it was a real event. And so we see this over and over again, a way of fooling you, thinking, you know, molding society. You know, the government created hippies. They ain't create the anti-war movement. Because when the motherfuckers started coming back, because remember, Vietnam was only a year. You leave a year, motherfuckers started telling. Even then they bring in their guy, John Kerry. They let John Kerry, who saw very minimum action, his life was never in danger in Vietnam. They let him talk about what it was like in Vietnam, and he's dogging all the guys. Then you want to go after John Kelly, who had 5 men killed. They don't tell that story about John Kelly. He had 5 men killed. So he went back to the village where his 5 men was killed, and he wiped off everybody out that he thought had something to do with killing his 5 men. And yes, just like in Gaza, you know, everybody that attacked you wasn't it, but hey, that's the way John Kelly and his men looked at it. Like, these people killed our guys, and they didn't warn us. And that is what they call collateral damage. But that was done on both sides, you know? Like you look at the movie like Hamburger Hill, and you see that both sides wasted their men. Hamburger Hill had no value. And then we go into Korea and we see it called Pork Chop Hill. Again, no value. So we see them, you know, and again, they say they had all these atom bombs. So MacArthur showed you they don't have atom bombs. Because America troops was attacked by the Chinese. And MacArthur said, okay, you got these atom bombs. Let's bomb here, 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 here. And China will forever be gone. Truman fired him because they didn't have atom bombs. They had napalm. But they didn't want to go drop them napalm bombs. And people's like, wait a minute, them ain't atom bombs. That's just napalm. And the problem, and you know, this is white supremacy thinking. Patton said, fight Russia right after World War II. He said, look, we got all our equipment here. We right here. Let's fight them right now. But instead, they said, no, let's not fight them. Let's have a Cold War. And these companies, the military industrial complex, can have a Cold War. And we can create more bullshit, more lies, more keep troops in Germany. People forget how many troops in the 60s and 70s used to be in Germany after World War II. And what? We still got 30, 40,000, maybe even 50,000 troops in Korea to this day. So the Korean War never ended. They just said they'll quit fighting, but it never technically ended. They just quit fighting each other. And of course, you know, there's a puppet that both sides pay. You know, it's a puppet in Korea that both sides pay. Same thing in Castro's, a puppet down there. Do you know, then this is something you can look up. Do you know that part of them taking out the nuclear weapons in Cuba, in Cuba? Do you know part of the deal was that America was going to protect Cuba if anybody attacked it? Did y'all know that? Part of them pulling out the troops was that if anybody ever attacked Cuba, America had to defend them. That was one of the agreements of them pulling out the weapons. I'm gonna say that again. If anybody attacked Cuba, that is a communist country, America was obligated to protect them. That was part of the deal that they negotiated. I look at it like they can make us escape from paying bills, dealing with badass kids their own, choking the shit out of your space, and then doing their job, entertaining us. Yeah. Yeah. Choking the shit out of your spouse. Yeah, I mean, I heard it best like this, and I tend to agree with this. The crooked preacher I told you about, the preacher that talked about he wanted all the dope dealers to buy land and he was going to launder money for him. This preacher says something that was interesting and very true. The problem with single mamas and the violence that we see young brothers put upon women is probably in some ways can be summed up as simple as this. It can be summed up as simple as this: single mama. So you got your mama telling you what to do. If you got older sister, she telling you what to do. You got your aunts telling you what to do. You got your grandma tell you what to do. You going to school, you got all these females telling you what to do. Your whole life you get grown, women have told you what to do because you ain't got no man around you. And at some point, a man gets tired of these women telling him what to do. So unsophisticated men only know to be physical with him. And so when he slaps his spouse, he's slapping all them women that told him what to do. So he's not just slapping and going off on his wife. He's actually going off on all the women that fuck with him in his life. Because that's all some brothers know is just women fucking with him. Now, that's really no excuse. But if you think mentally and socially, that is a good excuse and a good reason. Because he knows nothing else. So this is society has shaped that. And that goes back to Claudine, keeping motherfuckers out the house. You can have all the babies you want. That's what they were saying. Lyndon B. Johnson, Reagan, Carter, have all the babies that you want. Then Reagan tries to come up and say we can't have the welfare queens. And I told this story. I had contracts at this was before, let me see, it had to have been before the boys was born. So this is probably the mid 90s. I had contracts with the Social Security welfare office. And I was shocked because it was like I had to go in there check on my man, and sometimes I had to go in there and give my man breaks, or if somebody's sick, I had to work. Anyway, I'm in there working and I'm seeing all these Europeans come, and I'm like, I mean, it blew my mind. I went days without seeing any brothers and sisters come up in there. It was just poor Europeans every day, just poor Europeans coming up in there. And I'm like, wait a minute, TV make you think just niggas is on welfare. But I'm eyewitnessing 90% of the welfare people coming in was Europeans. But that ain't what Reagan and TV. He called the welfare queen. He talking about brothers and sisters. And he wanted the whole country to think that all you niggas was on welfare. And not telling the truth that mostly poor Europeans was on welfare. Not telling the truth. The news agencies made you think it was just brothers and sisters on welfare. Not Europeans. Because every time they would show an ad about welfare, what they show? A bunch of niggas. That's propaganda. When in fact, there's far more Europeans. There's far more poor Europeans. That's why they got the term white. There's far more poor white people in America than it is anything else. As a group, European white people are the poorest as a group. Because again, it's only 1% that got the money. So 90% of Europeans are poor. Now, I'm not going to say 90%, but let's say this. The poverty lines of America, there are more poor European than melanated people. That's what I'll say. I'll make it better than that. It is more poor Europeans in America than melanated people. And that's just a fact. Slapping them women. But that's what it is. That's where the frustration comes from. Now, that's no way, to treat it, but that's one way you can mentally look at it and say, oh, this is a possibility of why, You know, they're so frustrated. So it's not an excuse. You know, if you don't grow up seeing that, why would you do that? Like if you don't grow up seeing beating a woman, why would you beat a woman? You know, the poorest county in this country is Kentucky. It's over 90% Ivory people. Yeah, exactly. It's more Europeans on welfare than it is anybody else. And that ain't what the government wants to put on TV, that their own people are the poorest. Because again, read the book, Poor White Trash, 400 Years of Class Distinction. And what they really thought about. I mean, do you know that poor Europeans, they sterilized them because they didn't want them to breed other poor Europeans. Poor, slow. They tried to get rid of this stuff. They tried to sterilize poor Europeans so that they only had smart Europeans, but it didn't work. They literally tried to sterilize poor, unproductive Europeans. Them laws didn't get passed until the 70s. So they before abortion became, you know, so popular, they was trying to make sure these poor people don't pass that poor shit on or whatever's wrong with these Europeans. They was trying to get rid of them. That's their own history. I mean, she breaks it down. There's other books that break that down too. You ain't got to, but they tried to get rid of their own poor, non-productive people because they didn't want to. Again, look at the arranged marriages. Look at the go to the Civil War and look at how they arranged marriages. Wasn't none of these poor ass people marrying none of these upper class people in the South. Wasn't poor people. They was trying to. It wasn't the farm manager that they was trying to marry their daughters off to. Didn't work like that. You know, they were just so no. They knew better. If you was poor and you was stupid, they wasn't trying to marry their daughters into that. They was trying to marry their daughters off into money. This is the European way. They picking money for their daughters. Well, this is the funny thing of how society has changed. Biden is a Christian. No, he's a Catholic. Let me take that back. Biden's a Catholic. And you know what Biden had the nerve to say? He said it's every Catholic's father's dream that their daughters marry a Jewish doctor. That's some made up shit if I've ever heard it. It's every Catholic's father's dream that you marry your daughter to another Catholic. But just showing you how much they kissed. And let me shout out, I wish I could find that clip again. They was on Pelosi's ass. Because we got Pelosi saying America would burn and we would still give you your money, Israel. We could be getting bombed, but we gonna be in the Congress trying to find a way to give Israel money. America be in civil war, but some of these politicians named Pelosi, she says we still gonna give you money. America being getting attacked, but we gonna find a way to give you money, Israel. They was on Pelosi's ass. They ain't Capitol Hill on her because that's what she said. That that Israel for us has a blank check. Blank check. They can get anything they want. So it's interesting. And, you know, the times are interesting. You know, what's going to come up in the next few months, you know? I just say, you know, get a few more bullets. Get some type of rations because they're not going to like if the orange guy wins, a lot of these Europeans is going to lose their mind. I've been to Scranton, a lot of Jewish community there. Oh, okay. Here, the phrase without a pot to piss in and a window to throw it out of was talking about them. Agreed. That's where Biden's from. Hey, hang hand, what's happening? And Biden again, poor. He was one of the poorest men to ever go into the Senate. I mean, in modern times. And look at him now. So who says that you should get rich? And his term is uninterrupted. He's been in the Senate the whole time, or vice president. And look, how did you get rich being that? Obama wasn't rich when he went in. He wasn't rich, and he's rich when he comes out. So you see what it is. It's a money thing. You know, it didn't appear like Jimmy Carter was that rich. And Pelosi's another one. You know, she should have been in jail for insider trading. But yet, you know, they get to skate off of the rules. They take other people down. They put Martha Stewart in jail for a year. Think about this. They put Martha Stewart in jail for a year, but the dude that she got the information from, he didn't go in jail. He got fined. Isn't that some shit? The dude who called Martha Stewart up and gave her the tip, the insider trading, himself did not go to prison. This nigga got a fine. But yet they put the second person, they put her in jail for a year. Make that make sense. Make that make sense, you know. Scranton. What'd you say? That's where Biden is from. Scranton, Pennsylvania. Okay. That Pennsylvania? Okay. I can dig it. I can dig it. Yeah. I don't know. So. Well, I think I'm about calling it. It's not too late, though. It's not late. I started fairly early, so it's not too late. Oh, I guess I can philosophize again. I'll philosophize for a little longer. I don't mind. This is my time. I feel good. And, you know, we're coming into a couple months where it'd be them long days would be coming, so it's not bad. You know, the weather is going to be a little cooler up here. I kind of hate the other day. Me and my daughter and I didn't go play tennis. I kind of hate that we didn't go play tennis the other day. But our weather's mild. We had rain today and tomorrow. It's going to be high of 35. So I'm going to get to dress a little nice tomorrow because it's going to be a high of 35. I don't think I'm going to wear my, I was going to wear my mink coat to the comedy shop, but I don't think it is because it's white mink and, you know, comedians and I'd be the only in there. You know, I don't want that kind of attention. So in the mall, you don't really need a coat, you know, where you park, you know, you park in the ramp and you go right it. So you don't really need a coat. But I thought I was going to be cool tomorrow. Speak on it. So, you know, yeah, the weather's going to be mild. But there are so many distractions that take you away from you. And these next, you know, whoops. Okay. And these next few months, you know, pay attention. Really pay attention. Because it's no, you know, something that I say all the time that has to be considered, and that's called Man in the White Castle. And in the book is a little different than the movie, but in the book, basically, it's tricking people. They trick people into saying that we lost World War II and that they split the country in two. The Germans got the East Coast, the Japanese got the West Coast. That very easily could be pulled on us as they could attempt to go and fight the Chinese in the Pacific Ocean and lose on purpose. Lose on purpose. And as we already know, the Chinese own the Deeport Bank in San Jose that the Clintons sold to them. That has it is connected to all the railways in America. That Deeport in San Jose is connected to all the railways in America. So we could understand, again, Man in the High Castle, we can understand them saying they lost on purpose, even though, we got the biggest army by far, because they know American troops would not fight American people. And they would have to bring foreigners in to fight Americans because the troops would not attack their own people. Now, police will attack individuals, but as a group, when have we ever seen the police attacking people as a group? Since the Klan days, we haven't. So the police don't attack as a group. They attack as individuals, but they don't attack as a group. And, you know, it's like, it would be easy to really, how do I want to say this? Police are always open to ambush. They always are. They're always open to ambush if people were serious. If police were really that big a problem, they're always open to ambush. They're the one group of people that would be easy to ambush, like the whole force. You could get rid of the whole force in a couple swoops, really. Almost any force in America. Wouldn't be hard to get rid of them. But again, you know, I'm kind of trying to, but that's a fact. They're always open to that. So that's why, how do we really fear somebody that really, if the people went against them, it wouldn't be hard to defeat them, because they're, and then what they do is they want to bring in the troops. They want to bring in the National Guard. And again, what we learned from Floyd is, did you see how long it took them to bring the National Guard? It was almost 2 weeks. It almost took them 2 weeks to bring the National Guard troops in. So that shows you mobility that is a problem there. It's not as easy to get them troops to get to the equipment. And again, I mean, think about what I'm trying to tell you. These troops is coming from jobs in regular places. Right? Right? You know who they are. Most of the time when you work with people in the National Guard, you know who they are. So do you see how easy it would be to disrupt that if it had to be done? It'd be easy to disrupt that. Took them 2 weeks. 2 weeks to only it was something like 20,000 people. It took them 2 weeks to put that together. Go back and, they erased a lot of my Floyd stuff, but it took them longer than I anticipated. Because it was 10 days of them destroying on the north side before real troops came in. They had defeated the police. They had basically defeated the police. They tore up the third station and they retreated. They was overmatched. And again, you're not just going to shoot people randomly. That's not American law. Over them burning the police station down. Now, I can't say that immigrants, how big a threat immigrants are. I don't know. Is immigrants coming over here to cells? Again, we look at who's letting them in. The Democrats are letting them in. So is that the goal of the Democrats? If they lose, they have all these cells waiting to overtake Trump? Is that the aim of why the Democrats are just letting all these people come in through all these borders? Is that their aim? Is that their way to take away Trump's power? Is you let these immigrants in, and then as things go on and Trump is trying to do things, we've got these cells of all these foreigners that the Democrats let in. And is that who the Democrats want to wage civil war in? These million plus people that have just come in. Is that, because it could go two ways. Is that who America, do we want to fight the immigrants? Is that who the Americans going to look at? You and me and all you listening, is that how we're going to look at immigrants? As those are the people that we fight? If there was a civil war, is that who we attack? We start attacking the immigrants? Because that's a long line of motherfuckers in America. But basically what it would be is it'd be the people born in America against the people from Mexico and South America. Is that all of a sudden who we attack? Is that what it's turning into? Are they the enemy all of a sudden? Because that's what they're making you think. That those are the enemies. Like they're saying, just men coming over here, not a lot of women and children, just a lot of men coming over here. What are the men coming over here for? There ain't a lot of jobs. And on the other hand, we see all these people coming and they all got clean clothes on. And why do they need to come? Because America has destabilized all these countries. Like, have you ever watched where people, some of the countries where you can still find gold and they talk about how much they still got to pay all these crime bosses and shit? This is allowed by Americans. America has destabilized Mexico. It has destabilized all of South America and the islands that they control. They want to destabilize all this stuff. How does Haiti go from being one of the richest countries in the world and gave Napoleon all these resources? All of a sudden, they make you think there's no resources in Haiti. That they can't fix the country up because they don't have any resources. But yet, when Napoleon and the French had it, it was the most prosperous country in the world. How did it go from that? But they don't like that niggas beat Europeans. And that's a reminder. That's why they'll always keep Haiti poor. Because it's a reminder that we beat you motherfuckers. And of course, they what they did is try to starve Haiti into signing, reparations. They said, okay, well, we can't beat you on land, but nothing's coming into Haiti, and we got these ships out here, and we're going to bomb you until you agree to reparations. That's kind of what the position they put them in. You're not getting any other supplies coming in, but you agree to pay us forever, and okay, all the money we lost. But that's what we're going to be faced with in 24. I mean, it's interesting what they did in New York, stomping the cops out and stuff. In New York, you know, the cops, we know how dirty the cops are in New York. And they really want you to feel sorry for them. We're over. No. That's the biggest, well, LA and New York have the two biggest police forces. And now when you have a population that they're standing up to them, they're crying. Oh, we can't have all these, you know, again, crying. And that's what we see. When people are just as strong as the police force is crying. That's why they don't want the guns and the stocks. You know, that's why people are scared of America, because there are guns everywhere. But yet your politicians they want foreigners to come over here to be able to take you over because they want you to turn in guns. And that's Democrats. Democrats want to disarm you because they want to allow this to happen. Again, man in the high castle. They can bring Chinese over because Chinese have no problem killing us. American troops won't kill you. No matter what you say, they're not going to fight us. They're not going to drop bombs on us. They got families. And they know that. They know that, you know, and people ain't stupid in the army anymore. They know what propaganda is. That's why that January 6th stuff, that shit was some bullshit, because America got the best killers. If it was real, a real takeover, it's people killed up in there. Silent killers. Well, we don't know who did it. They wasn't even on film. The films got turned off. But we didn't see that, did we? We didn't see real killers going in there. Real killers don't make noise. They don't do riots. They do it secretly. And you know, Uncle Sam got the best killers ever invented. So we know what fake looks like. You said a motherfucker died a day later because he had a heart attack. Didn't nobody kill him? Because they didn't send them real killers in. They ain't called them real killers that they got. America got the real killers. They didn't call none of them in, did they? You didn't see not nan real killers. But that's what we're faced with. And so now, you know, even ex-military is questioning, you know, all this. Why was they sent to Iraq, excuse me? Why was they in Afghanistan? What was it for? And we see how, you know, heroin picked up in America as they was closing down crack, because the truth came out. They started pushing heroin. That's the only reason we was in Afghanistan, for heroin. They say they killed Pat Tillman because he was complaining. Why are we protecting poppy fields? Bill Clinton, remember, Bill Clinton gave what? Gave them warlords $40 million not to grow heroin. That was probably $40 million for the heroin he did bring over here. That's the only reason they was in Afghanistan, was heroin. Vietnam. I mean, you could say that in Vietnam too. And I told you, you know, I first heard about dope coming back in bodies. I worked with Ray. I met Ray in 82. 83 maybe. 82, 83, I met him. And he was like, yeah, when I was in Vietnam, they was talking about motherfuckers was bringing, you know, heroin back in bodies. He told me that in 82 or 83. Ex-Vietnam vet. So you think it was just Frank Lucas doing that? You think Uncle Imbecile didn't have something to do with that? It's never like that. Like you know, the Godmother, all these people. If you think they wasn't government agents, all of them. Rick Ross, the real Rick Ross, government agent. Fucking BMF, BMF, Big Meat, government agent. Supreme, all these niggas was government agents. All of them. I mean, they show you, Scarface shows you the formula. You become a government agent, you work for the government, and you can get cocaine. Remember, that's what happened? He killed somebody for the government, and all of a sudden he could be with cocaine dealers. And that's why, you know that a lot of them rappers in the early 80s and 90s, the Scarface era, and they say they love Scarface, was their favorite movie, and they telling you that an agent is their biggest hero. Agent is their biggest hero. The come up of an agent. That's what Scarface shows you, that agents, Deep Cover does too. And I've talked about this many times. Deep Cover is another movie. They were trying to tell you that all these motherfuckers, the big dope dealers, is all working for the government. all the government, you thinking the government just letting these niggas get rich and no, we don't know anything about it. How do they get it? How are these niggas getting it over here? How are they getting these keys and we're not getting any money? Yeah, agent to put poisons inside of the zoo again. Well, we can go deeper. You take away all the industrial jobs and you replace them with crack. That's the facts. You took away all the industrial jobs in the Midwest and you replaced it with crack. And then instead of going after yourself, you want to go after the little guys. Put niggas in jail forever for a nonviolent crime. And as much as Jesse Jackson was an agent, Jesse Jackson made a good point. You ain't putting these niggas in jail for life for powder. And crack and powder is the same thing. But yet they knew Europeans was still using powder. Niggas mostly had transferred into crack. So it's a racist thing. Reward with toys and play money to push politics to control. It's like you have to look at like why every time you see something about Michael Jordan, his daughter done bought something. His daughter buys him a car. Michael bought Scottie Pippen. I mean, why every time you hear something about Michael Jordan, it's got to be he's bought something. We got to show you his house. They don't do that to Europeans. Why do you see? Do you see every day you on Facebook, you seeing some nigga, they something rich. And no other people get treated like that. I mean, Miley Cyrus, Taylor Swift, you see in they cribs? Well, Miley lives over, but it's constantly in your face about niggas. When they show niggas and niggas what niggas have, they constantly in your face. Well, this nigga went and bought this kind of car and he went and bought this kind of car. If you got a car that run and can get you where you want to go, what does it matter what kind it is? They all do the same thing. Think about it. If you got a Rolls Royce and you got a Nissan and they going to the mall, both of them can get you to the mall, huh? Now, maybe your ego feels a little better than the Rolls Royce, but as far as what you had to do, that Nissan did the same thing that Rolls Royce did. It took you to the mall. So these vehicles is just tools. That's all they are, is just tools. Now you can, whatever you can afford, whatever. It's funner driving different tools, no doubt. Like we got the fucking Acura now, the BMW was funner to drive. Lower to the ground, it was funner to drive. But there was something wrong with it. And so he's lucky to get what we got out of it and got something else. But they all do the same thing. It's like I compare my Taurus to a 2000 Benz. And I'm looking at the size and the ride. And it's like the same kind. And it's like mentally when I thought that was the go-to and the must-have. Like I had to have that car. And it's like it was one of the crappiest cars ever. It had a serpentine belt that was meant to fail. It was some of the crappiest cars. It was a crappy car. But in my mind, I'm thinking that this is the best car ever. And it was a crappy car. So we believe a lot of that propaganda that we have to have certain things. When, the simplest thing will do the same thing for you. Now, yes, when I was playing and talking about a Mitsubishi Mirage, that's a car with only 80 horsepower. So, yeah, you might not want that. It's not going to go that fast. And if you get hit with it, you're not going to be protected very much. Same with a Fiat 500. You don't want to get hit in that kind of car. It could be full of airbags and it's probably not going to be good to get hit in that car. And nor do you want to have a car that's only 80 horsepower. That's like a lawnmower. I got a lawnmower that's 80 horsepower. But America, we love this country. We hate your politics. We hate your lies. We hate the way you do business, the underhandedness. We hate the way you give away millions of dollars to other countries 2 wars. That one's a proxy war, no doubt. But everybody's against Israel. This is one of the greatest times in history that people are finally against Israel. You know, why wasn't they against Israel back in apartheid times? They ain't changed. But you know, when they talked about apartheid, they didn't talk about Israel. So it's good. All the heat Israel getting, they deserve. How dirty those people are over there. How these Ashkenazis decided they wanted that area. Again, it spreads their lie and spread, you know, they have no claim to that area. Now, I know Ancestor Productions, he'll disagree with me. It's like, well, you know, they are our cousins. When those people was Ashkenazis, those people were in between 2 countries, Muslims and Christians. Look up the history of why they became Jews. They was in between 2 countries, Muslims and Christians, and they found a way to be separate. They found a way to be separate. And you got to think that Templars was kind of fucking with them because, again, the banks was invented by the Templars. So we know that, and we know, you know. And think about this. The Jewish faith people were so fucked up that the Christians had to do something about them. And again, I can pull up a map down. It shows you every country is put out. All the Jewish faith people have put all the countries in Europe have one time or another put all the Jewish faith people out. Why is that? And that's the blood libel. Their history of these people, not the people that truly came from Africa, but the Ashkenazis and the blood libel that's connected with them. You look at the people from Ethiopia, them Jews ain't got nothing to do with blood sacrifice. But the Ashkenazis got a lot to do. Look up them books about blood libel and see how expensive they are, because they don't want you reading about them. That all the countries, children disappear. They find the children done been sacrificed and shit. And the only thing changed is they came around. That's their history. And they want to only tell you about World War II. Why do you think they wanted to get rid of them in World War II? Do you think it's because of this history? Now, you know, they did try to kill and sterilize the niggas that was German, because it was German niggas. Y'all know that. And they did try to sterilize them, but everywhere those people have been has been conflict. Everywhere. You know, Zionists. What do you think the Zionist is? And Biden claims to be a Zionist. It's again, you have these people that have these other religions that want to be connected to them. So they're under the umbrella of Zionism. The Zionists, just like the Jesuits. And one thing, you know, the bad thing about Isabella putting her foot in their ass, this is the bad thing about it, is they all converted. Conversos. That's what they was called, conversos. And they saw it was easy to control if they became Catholics. It was easier to control. And that's why they went into the Jesuits and they became conversos, because they found out that they could control and get better by being in the church. They weren't stupid people. That's like, oh. And we know these conversos secretly practice still being Jewish faith. As you know, we have a converso, because again, conversos, Christopher Columbus was a Portuguese Jew. He wasn't Italian. He was a Portuguese Jew. The first European to step on American soil was a Jew. Was a Jew. Y'all know that, don't you? The first European to step on American soil was a Jew. A Jewish faith person paid for Columbus's his first time to come over, because they were put out. They had to find a place to go. And a lot of these conversos that was given these big land tracts, some of them was found out that they was still practicing Jewish stuff. So the Spanish was embarrassed. And you can find this stuff. It ain't just me telling you. You can find this stuff. This stuff is out there. Ain't like I'm the only one saying it, but this is their history. And so now it's good that people are down on the Jewish faith people, because again, it ain't everybody, but it's definitely Israel. Because they've been allowed to do after America, the world stopped South Africa. So what are they gonna do? You know, What are they going to do about the same thing happening in somewhere else? And they want that base there. Israel is American base. Don't think it's not. It's American base. You know, and look what they did to Gaddafi. You know, he's got